Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers NORC, Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
Hi, thanks. As always, if you need anything, like you can have pillows, any blankets. It's warm outside today though, but if it's still cold in your home, you can have some extra layers if you know you might get a little chilly. Yeah, so anything that, I'm gonna grab my pillow for my couch here. So anything that you might want for support. So think of it as trying to fill the space between the floor and your body, so that way you can let go a little bit deeper into the poses. So we'll start on our back, and you can have your props within hands reach. You can just set them next to you. And take any movement you need when you arrive onto the ground. Just start to settle into your body. Start to settle into your breath and just observe where your body's at today. And just observe your breath. And if you aren't already there, go ahead and place your feet on the ground. So the knees are pointing up to the sky. And then walk your feet as wide as your mat. If you're just on the floor, that's fine. Just take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And pause there. And then allow the knees to start to come towards each other. So it doesn't matter if they touch. It doesn't matter if they're really close together or a little bit further apart, but find a place where your feet can stay rooted on the floor, and you can just feel those knees knock a little bit towards the center. And then once your legs and lower part of your body feel settled, reach your arms up to the sky. Feel as if you're trying to pull the shoulder blades apart. So notice that space between the shoulder blades on the floor and see if you can press into that space a little bit more. And then start to give yourself a hug with the right arm on top. So you can allow the arms to rest on the body. You can allow the fingers to rest on the body. But try not to grip that hold. So if at first you might feel those shoulder blades pull really far apart, and then as you start to come into this hug, you might notice that you're working a little hard, and just see if you can soften it a bit. Allow the shoulder blades to fall back into the floor. Continuing to observe your breath. And after your next breath, go ahead and just unwrap the arms and switch which arm is on top. So your right arm is probably now on the bottom and your left arm is on top. And you can keep your legs as they are. Allow your elbows and your shoulders and your arms to be nice and heavy. And always bring yourself back to your breath. And if at any point you need to adjust the legs, go ahead and make any shifts. If you need to even just rock the knees a little bit, that's perfect. Finding your final 3 rounds of breath here. After your next breath, just start to unwrap the arms and allow them to come back by your side. You might even think about taking them really wide. And slowly start to peel your knees away from each other. Still continuing to keep the feet wide. And start to walk the soles of the feet towards each other and allow the knees to drop wide. So coming right into that opposite. So when our knees were knocked together, that was internal rotation, and now we're moving into external rotation. And feel free to slide a pillow or a towel or a blanket underneath the legs. And keeping the arms wide. So we're going from kind of closing off the front of the body a little bit to opening up. And continuing to bring your attention and your intention back to your breath. Staying here for just a little while longer. But if your palms are open up to the sky, just start to flip your hands so the palms are down. And if your palms started down, go ahead and flip your palms so they're open up to the sky. So just finding the opposite position with the arms, wherever you're at. Getting a little heavy through the hips and the knees. As we continue to hold, you might notice that you need to adjust a little bit. So don't be afraid to make those adjustments as you need them. Taking your final 2 rounds of breath. And then slowly start to bring the knees all the way back up to the sky. You can keep your arms exactly where they are. Invite any movement that you'd like here. So I liked a little rock. Don't overthink it. Just listen to your body. Does it need to wiggle anything out? And let's extend the legs long. Release the front of our hips for a few moments. You can even stretch the legs, point and flex the feet. And start to bring your right knee all the way into the chest. And you can use your hands. And that left leg can stay straight, or you can place the foot back on the floor. Yogi's choice. And when you first get here, invite any movement. And just keep hugging your knee into your chest. So maybe that means that your hands are on top of the knee. Your hands can be at the thigh. They can be on your pants. If you have a blanket or even like a sweatshirt next to you, you can wrap it around the knee and kind of just use that to support the knee in. That's a really wonderful option too. You can use a blanket. You can really use anything. As we continue to hold, even though you're using strength through your arms to hold the leg in, can you relax the shoulders even just a little bit? Can you soften the jaw? Final breath here. Just gently release the hands and allow that right ankle to cross on top of the left knee. And you can allow the arms to fall back by the side. And really pay attention to what's going on in the upper body here for a moment. And then start to bring your awareness to the legs. Softening through the toes. And the back of the knee. And you may stay right here, keeping that figure 4 shape. Or start to cross the legs a little bit more. So they're a little, the knees are a little bit closer together. It doesn't matter where they land. You might want to play with, if you do that, bringing the left foot a little bit more towards the midline so you're not tipping to the left side. You still want to be in a really passive, relaxed position here. It doesn't matter where the legs end up. It could be figure 4, full cross, or anywhere in the middle. And just like we did in our first shape of class today, let's lift the arms up and reach them up to the sky. And give yourself a hug with the right arm on top. if you feel as we continue to hold that your body does want to tilt a little bit to one side or the other, or your legs want to tilt a little bit to one side. Let it happen. Maybe you play with a little tilt, like a little rock. You might find a nicer sweet spot. You can even play with where the head is. So maybe start to bring your gaze over the left shoulder. Still allow the back of the head to rest into the floor. Just a few more rounds of breath here. After your next breath, if your gaze was tilted, bring your nose back up to the sky. Unwrap the arms. Unwrap the legs. And let's lengthen the legs down long. Any movement on your way there, any movement when you get there. Finding 3 big, powerful breaths here before we shift to the second side. After your third big breath, go ahead and bring the left knee into the chest. So anything you want to do with the right leg is perfect. If you want a little movement in the left leg when you get there, that's perfect. We're not going to be here for too long. You can hold your leg however you want to. So you can hold the knee or the thigh or your pants, or use a blanket or a shirt or something to just kind of gently hug it in. so that you don't have to activate your core. So if you don't use anything to hug it in, your core is going to work a little bit harder than you really want it to right now. We really want to find release. Final breath here. And start to cross your left ankle on top of your right knee. We'll pause when we first get here. So just allow the arms to release. So pay attention to the upper body for a moment. Soften the shoulders. Soften the jaw. And then start to bring awareness to your legs. And see if there's any places where you can let go just a little bit more. And then you can keep your legs where they are, or start to bring the knees a little bit closer together and cross the legs a little bit more. Your sides are probably different here. So just moving nice and slow and intentional. Or just shifting one thing at a time. And start to reach your arms all the way up and go ahead and give yourself a hug with the left arm on top. If you'd like, you can even change the positioning of the head and gaze over your right shoulder. You need to rock a little bit, add a little tilt anywhere. Adjust as we continue to hold. Always listen to your body and what it needs here. A few more rounds of breath on this side. Finding 2 more rounds of breath here. If you had your head turned, go ahead and bring your nose back up to the sky. Start to unwrap your arms and allow them to lay on the floor. And then unwind the legs. And eventually allow them to lengthen down the mat. Again, any movement you need on the way there, there's no rush. Let's take 3 powerful breaths here, just like we did after the first side. Full inhales and full exhales. And start to bring your feet onto the floor. And just begin to roll to one side. Just allow all of the weight to lift up off of your spine. You can use your arm as a pillow. And then use the strength of your arms and press yourself all the way up to sit. You can sit up on a pillow or a blanket and do whatever you'd like with the legs here. And take whatever you need when you first get there. So we've been lying down for the first 2/3 of class. So your body might take a few moments to really adjust to being seated. And then again, you can set your legs up however you want. We're going to focus on the upper half of the body here. So allow your hands so they can rest on your legs, they can rest on the floor, and just let the chin start to drop to the chest. And as you do that, feel as if there's almost a string at the back of the neck. Just gently lengthening your spine. So just sitting yourself up nice and tall, a little bit of a broadening through the collarbone, but allowing your head to be nice and heavy. And just start to allow the ear to come all the way over to the right shoulder. So just slowly drag the chin across the chest. And you really don't need to feel like you're trying to make the head really heavy here. As long as that ear is dropping towards the shoulder, you might feel something, but it's creating a little bit of that resistance and tension on all of the tiny muscles that hold up your head. If you wanted to let it get a little bit deeper, take your left hand out to the left side, just to lengthen the full left side. And this is also a wonderful thing to do at the beginning of your day, at the end of your day, in the middle of your day. Because all of these neck muscles and all of these shoulder muscles are connected. You can keep your eyes open or closed. And let's take about 3 more rounds of breath here. If you brought your left arm over to the left side, just allow it to find the leg once again. And then allow the chin to drop back towards the center of the chest. Take a pause in the center. And then let the left ear find the left shoulder. So your sides will likely feel a little different here. Maybe a lot, maybe a little. And you have that option to bring that right hand over to the right side, just to fully lengthen the right side of your body. Continuing to focus on your breath. A couple more rounds of breath here. Your arm is by the side. Allow that right hand to rest back on the body. And nice and slow, allow the chin to come back to the center of the chest. And nice and slow, start to lift your head all the way back upright. And let's reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And let the right hand come down to the ground and stretch and reach through the left side of your body. I'm just finding a nice long side body stretch here. And come all the way back to the middle and nice and slow, reach up and over to the other side. And start to come all the way back up. And bring your hands back to the middle and just start to round the spine. You can release the head. So it doesn't matter if your legs are wide or if you're in a cross-legged position. Just find a really gentle forward fold. Just a rounding of the upper body, because we've been in a really lengthened position for pretty much all of class today. Take 2 more rounds of breath in this folded position, whatever it looks like. Whatever it looks like is perfect. Slowly start to bring yourself all the way up. Anything you want when you come back up into that lifted position, really always just listen to your body. I'm going to give you 2 options to come back down. Actually, we'll all go the same way. So start to come back into that side body reclined position. So you're just lying on your side. So we'll all begin there. You are welcome to remain here for the rest of class. You can always bring a pillow or a blanket in between your knees. That's very nice. Or you can come all the way onto your back. So you can either stay in that side body position, or you can come all the way onto your back. And they can both be with a pillow. They can both be with a blanket. And finding a restful place to remain. For the remainder of class. Allow your body to soften wherever you are. Using these last few minutes of class in complete and total gratitude for your practice today. Shavasana. Starting to bring some awareness back into the space. Starting to bring some awareness back into the body. And inviting some small movements back in. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rolling out wrists and ankles. And slowly making your way all the way up into a seated position. So that might mean pausing on your side, moving nice and slow. And as you find your seated position, keeping your focus inside, and start to bring your hands to your heart center. Gently bow your head. Thanking yourself for making it to your mat today, for your practice, for your energy, for your breath, and most importantly, for yourself. Namaste.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.